Hey guys, Slam is still here for Fantanuum. Today we're going to talk about the first of two DC press events for Comic-Con 2018, so stay tuned. Let me first start out by saying DC really knows how to throw a press event. They go all out for press. So with that said, there's like a lot to cover. The first of these press events will actually happen at Roy's restaurant. The second will be another video, and I'll get into that later because that one was definitely a trip. It was basically totally immersive, and I'll leave that as a surprise for the next video. But for this first event, the theme was called Solving the Puzzle, book for every reader. So they're trying to basically, for all the existing readers, they're trying to introduce things that are fresh, that are new, and also, venture into some more daring stuff. So we'll get into some of those titles later. But the day basically started off with them getting our names, and then handing us swag bags, which is actually pretty hefty, pretty heavy. They gave us a lot of stuff. I probably took a peek at it when I first got it, but I actually have not unboxed it or unbagged it, if you may. I thought I'd do it in front of you guys for the first time. I know it's completely crazy because it's been like 2 weeks and you're probably going like, how can you not unbag this? I mean, they just gave it to you. But I didn't really take a real look at it because I wanted to be just as surprised as you are of the stuff that they gave me. So I took a peek at it. So there's a lot of, from what I gathered, there's a couple little surprises in there, but I didn't dig too deep in there. So sort of like a kid opening their present on Christmas Day. But they started off with breakfast. So after we got seated, it was basically a full spread of like bacon, eggs, sausages, home fries, you name it, fruit, juice, coffee. So they really went all out for press for this one, and it's really awesome. If you're ever pressed and you're invited by DC to be part of their press events, it's like a real treat. They really treat you well, and it's great. I mean, just being invited to a DC talk is already good enough, it's reward enough, and for them to do this for press, it was really fun. So I thank you, DC, for doing that. I totally enjoyed it and really appreciate it. So after we got our breakfast, we sort of settled down and basically had our food, and then the panel basically started with Tiffany Smith as the host. If you guys know her, she's part of DC All Access. She basically moderated the panel, and it was with co-publishers Dan DiDio and Jim Lee, who are very big names at DC. So there were a lot of announcements. The first one of those was actually Heroes in Crisis by Tom King, and that's the event that I'm going to tell you that we're going to get into later and deeper in another video. And I have pictures and basically videos of that. It was just totally crazy, and it was really awesome. The next stuff they covered was Justice League Dark and Wonder Woman event called The Witching Hour, which will be unveiled in the October-November Electric Warriors miniseries. So look for that. The next one is Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp will be joining forces for the Green Lantern. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, we got Grant Morrison's weird, metaphysical, philosophical, brain-twisty storytelling with Liam Sharp's daring art. So I am really looking forward to that story arc and for that series to come out, because if you guys know Grant Morrison, the guy did Multiversity. He did a lot of different stories, and it's awesome. I mean, the guy's writing is just very twisty, so every time you read it, you just basically, you really wonder what's going through the guy's head. I mean, it's really, really cool stuff. Of course, there's the announcement of G. Willow Wilson joining the creative team of Wonder Woman. So that's a big announcement. And really big news is Kelly Sue DeConnick and artist Robson Rocha will be on Aquaman beginning of December of this year. So look for that. And another big item that they announced is basically DC Black Label. If you guys are not familiar with DC Black Label, it's basically sort of like a more, I'd say it's mature storytelling for more mature readers. They up sort of the violence, they push the edge a lot more. They basically go into territory that the main continuity really doesn't really go into. And basically that's what this is. The the way they did it was they looked at stories like the Dark Knight Returns back in the 80s, and a lot of one-off stories that were actually now considered classics and considered things that revolutionized the comics industry. So basically they went back to the drawing boards and they thought, hey, what if we basically didn't burden writers or creatives with all this past history, all this stuff having to deal with the main continuity, with the current story arcs, and basically have them just go hog wild and see what they produce. So that's what DC Black Label is. And who knows, like what Jim Lee and Dan DiDio noted was that if this stuff becomes popular enough, they might try to incorporate some of that stuff back into the main continuity. So that could be, so think of it as sort of like an experimental playground of stories that could come about. The first that's going to come out with DC Black Label is basically Batman Dan by writer Brian Azzarello and the dramatic, really cool art of Lee Bermejo. So look for that. Yeah, so that's I'm really excited for that, for the new imprint, for this new imprint, DC Black Label. And finally, they sort of prepared us. I mean, any DC fan knows about this. I mean, there's not a lot of preparation for this, but it's for the launch of DC Universe, a subscription service where you can get all your DC shows and movies and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to it because growing up as a kid, as a teenager, I love Batman the Animated Series. And I'm just the price of subscription, I think it's something like $7.99 a month or something like that. And if you get it now, you get like 3 months free. I'm not sure. I got my subscription at Comic-Con. So at Comic-Con, they gave you like, as part of the packages, if you ordered it early at Comic-Con, you get 3 months free. You got a t-shirt and you got like a set of like, just like DC, like buttons or pins and stuff like that. But just for $7.99, for me, I think it's just worth it just to be able to watch Batman the Animated Series. As you know, the DC Animated Universe is critically acclaimed, and it all started with Batman the Animated Series, and then it went on to creating Superman, and then later Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and then it just launched DC into these into this whole venture of just their animated endeavors are always critically acclaimed. So I'm really, really excited that there's a subscription service for that. So yeah, so if you guys have time and stuff like that, I'd say go for it and try it. It seems pretty cool. And the final wrap up was a presentation of an official Guinness World Record achievement for Action Comics. So now Action Comics has been recognized as the longest running comic book series in history. And that was given to Dan DiDio and Jim Lee, and so that's pretty cool. So let's take a look at that excerpt of them presenting that certificate.
Action Comics and Superman laid the foundation of the superhero genre and are cornerstones of American pop culture history. In addition to the Man of Steel, Action Comics introduced us to iconic characters like Lois Lane and Lex Luthor, along with magical places like Metropolis and the Fortress of Solitude. Since that first issue in April 1938 through the 1000th issue, Action Comics achieved something else: unmatched longevity. Which is why I'm here today to present Dan DiDio and Jim Lee with the Guinness World Records title for the longest running superhero comic book series for Action Comics' officially amazing 80-year run. Congratulations, guys.
Okay. And as I promised, let's perform our swag unboxing, or unbagging. Let's check it out. So this is what we got right here. Nice DC emblem on it. It's a pretty cool bag. So let's see what we got in here. Whoa. What have we got? Okay. We got awesome Martian Manhunter. Oh, cool. And then basically, I guess everybody probably got like a different figure. I saw one guy with like a Batman one, and but I really like Martian Manhunter. I mean, he seems like a pretty rare character to get, but this is cool, and it's got the DC Universe exclusive sticker on there, because I think to get some of these toys, I think what they're planning is that you can only get them through a DC Universe subscription service. So I forgot to mention that the digital service isn't just for shows, and I think it's almost like a special membership that you can basically go online and you can order some exclusive stuff that you can't really get if you're not a member. So I got Martian Manhunter from the classic Justice League, the animated series, the DC animated universe. So that's really cool. Check that out. I mean, he's basically a character that's like, he's been neglected. You know, I really want to see him in actually the DC extended universe, or at least a live action Martian Manhunter movie. And I think he's due for a live action movie. So that's really cool. So put that right here. Awesome. Oh, and then what we got next? We got a t-shirt. What is this t-shirt of? Hall of Doom. This is sweet. Look at this thing. Hall of Doom. So if you guys remember Super Friends, this is basically that that hideout that Lex Luthor and the Joker and all the villains, the Legion of Doom, basically hid out in, and it usually gets submerged in like the swamp. It was back in the 80s. And you know, cheesier time for DC, but still I loved it. I loved it as a kid growing up. Let's see. In the back, pretty sweet. It says hench. Taking means henchman. Awesome. Good stuff. What do we got next? Oh, we got a viewfinder and some, let me see. Ooh. DC a reel. So basically I guess some of the advertisements are hidden here. You know what? Maybe not for this video, but I'll try and get this pop these in, and I'll see if I can, for my next video, maybe sort of reveal what sort of images they have on this. There seems to be a couple, pretty much a lot of them. So if I'm viewing them right now, you guys can't see it, so it wouldn't be fair. So I might make another video that basically sort of shows what these images are, and I'll try to get them sort of projected somewhere or have a way of showing them to you. But this is really cool. Sort of a homage-y sort of type of thing, you know, throwback. I remember having these things as a kid, these viewfinders, and looking at them, pretty cool, 3D. It has a little DC emblem on it. That's pretty awesome. What else we got? Another t-shirt. This one, what do we got here? Nice little gray one. Oh, nice. So we got both representations. We got the Legion of Doom, now we got the Hall of Justice, where the Justice League or the Super Friends hung out. Basically, we find out in the DC animated universe that this is basically just a sort of a facade for them to have a public image. Their real hideout is actually Watchtower, or the Watchtower, and that's the Hall of Justice. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, and the back says staff instead of hench. You're not a henchman, you're a staff member if you're a part of the Hall of Justice. Sweet. Really awesome stuff. Oh, and what do we got here? We got a bag with the DC Vertigo imprint emblem on it. Really cool. Sandman universe. Awesome. So let's see. What do we got in here in this bag? Oh, wow. Okay, so we got a nice little, a USB, DC Vertigo USB drive in this little case here. Really cool. This will come in handy. Really cool. Oh, it's not even like a little plastic locking mechanism. It's like a little magnet on it. So that's pretty nice. Pretty fancy. Okay, this is pretty cool. So what they have in here are scents or cologne stuff or perfume for all the characters under the DC Vertigo imprint. All right, so I'm gonna try something right here. So we got the Dreaming, okay, and then we got Books of Magic, okay, Lucifer, House of Whispers. So let me try some of this. Kind of a spicy aroma. Let's try Lucifer. You know what's strange? It's, I don't know who they got to make this, but these scented oils, actually, this smells like what I would think Lucifer would smell like. I mean, it's not like, does it smell evil? But it does smell sort of like mystical, or it smells kind of like, I guess you could say, a supernatural smell. I guess that's what they were trying to go for, but it does elicit that sort of feeling of, you know, like that supernatural feeling or something like that. Yeah, that's strange. It does. It does have that. Might be because there's like patchouli or something inside of it. In this one, yeah, it's actually different. It's more subtle, and it's not as pungent as the Lucifer one, but definitely the dreaming. I could see this. I could see this as like when you're dreaming, and it sort of has that sort of ambience of smell. That's pretty cool. Yeah, not bad. Books of Magic. Yeah. You know, all these actually, they all have this sort of, I guess, I can't really describe it, but sort of, like a baseline or undertone. They're all similar, but there's some variations on it. Like, they all have this baseline that the stuff smells kind of like magical or you know, something that's not quite of this plane of existence, but this does make me feel like that I'm in a library or something like that. So DC, you guys did a pretty good job on this stuff. I mean, it really it smells like what you were actually going for. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I put this back in here. Try some of this. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. That is pretty cool. Let's put this bag in here. All right. So what else do we have in here? Oh wait, we got one more. We got a yo-yo. Oh, you know what this is? Let's see if I can even play with this for a second. I haven't handled a yo-yo for a while, but let's try this out. But looking at this, it's probably one of those. Yeah, you can tell there's a spring there, so it's probably one of those yo-yos that sort of it's got a DC emblem on it that sort of lights up when you play with it. So let's see if it even. Yep, it does. If you guys can see it, it sort of. Yep. It lit up. Very cool. Very cool. Alright. Now for the nitty gritty. We got our books. And DC gave us quite an amount to look at. Just in case. Let's see what else we got. Ah, that's it. Alright, cool. So that's the bag. Again. A little better view of it. Alright. Let's put this right here. Alright. So what we got here? We got this thing called DC Zoom. So I guess this is more towards they're saying they're trying to for their initiatives of like, solving the puzzle, a book for every reader. This is going more towards like the younger crowd, like DC Black Label's for mature. This is for like kids, probably like the age range of like 8 to 12 or like preteens or stuff like that. So this is very cool. So of course, yep, Superman art. The art is actually pretty nice. I mean, even for, usually I don't prefer these little kids comics because the art is sometimes to be desired, because it's like it seems like they know that the readers are less sophisticated, so it doesn't seem like they really take a lot of time on the art. But this one is not bad. I actually kind of like the style. It's sort of like the animated cartoons. That's pretty cool. DC Inc. So this is another bunch of titles they're coming out with. So this one, I guess this one we have Mira coming out of the water. Pretty awesome. So these are samplers. Very nice. Actually, this is a pretty cool art on here. DC Superhero Girls. I guess another one for their initiative for a book for every reader. They're actually trying to tap into the female demographic and basically highlight a lot of their strong female characters. So they got Batgirl, Supergirl, Mira, Wonder Woman, all those characters here. Search for Atlantis. It explains sort of the underwater theme. That is pretty cool. Awesome. Nice. Okay, American Carnage. Okay, this is more like the serious stuff they're going into. Of course, DC Vertigo. That's the title. That's the imprint that usually has these types of stories. Very cool, very nice. Art is pretty awesome. It actually is a double issue. So we got the Sandman universe on the other side. And it's like Neil Gaiman. Here he is. Going through here. This is pretty cool. Back to the American Carnage issue. So they basically have two different comic books in one, and you just basically flip it back around to look at the other ones. Border Town. All right, this looks kind of nutty and crazy. Again, it's another Vertigo title. Okay. So granted, you know, I'll dig into these more, and I'll definitely read them. And oh, another one, another Sandman universe. I guess double issue, double title in one comic. That's pretty cool. I wonder. That's what they're gonna do. Brian Michael Bendis, Jinx World. Cool. One of those titles. These are all samplers. This art is actually pretty awesome. I really like this. Oh, got some pretty unique art here. Pretty simple. Pretty cool. Okay, and now we've got what we were waiting for. Batman Damned. And this is an uncorrected proof advanced reader's copy. So I guess this could be a collector's item, and it could be pretty rare if it's not going to be sold. I mean, this basically probably is going to show some mistakes and stuff like that they haven't finished editing. But the cover, awesome, classic Lee Bermejo. You got that ultra hyper realistic like sort of look for Batman. It's got a burn on his cowl area. I don't know if the reflection is stopping you from seeing that, but looking pretty cool. Batman looks like he's kind of scarred up here. That's the start of that. Look at that. Look at that. That's classic. This is why I love Lee Bermejo as an artist. I mean, look at that. I mean, the guy is self-taught, so this is pretty amazing. His art. I mean, check that out. Yeah, I mean, just the art itself. And look, there were like no... Oh, so this is an uncorrected, unproved copy. So basically, the words, none of the words or anything are in here yet. This is just purely just the images. Just Lee Bermejo's art. They haven't inserted any speech bubbles or any of the narration inside of it. But look at that. This is just beautiful artwork. I mean, this is intense. This is awesome. I mean, I can tell you I'm really looking forward to this. And also, one thing I forgot to mention, Jim Lee also said that if you notice that it's not a classic comic book size ratio, even size or even the ratio, they were going for a very larger format, so you can tell it's a larger, you know, compared to, I would say this is like a comic book size, right? If you compare it, right, look how much larger it is versus a regular comic book size. And Jim Lee actually said they did this, of course they did this on purpose, but the main reason why they did this was because they wanted a very cinematic, very open, wide feel, and you can tell that very wide screen, you know, they want to let the art speak for itself, and I think this is just awesome. I mean, you know, I'm excited that Lee Bermejo is on this. I mean, he's one of my favorite artists, along with like Alex Ross. So imagine if Alex Ross did one of these. I mean, it would be so awesome. So yeah, this is really cool, really beautiful. So that's it. Oh, and also, you know, I got a whole bunch of these, but according to the theme of the solving the puzzle, they had, you know, the throwback sort of toy, which they sort of refreshed, made it more DC-like, Rubik's Cubes. So I basically have displayed right here, if you can see it. It's basically all of the 6 different sides. I got 6 of these because there are 6 sides to a cube, 6 different sides. They got the DC label, they got the black label, side represented, Vertigo, Mad, a whole bunch. But one of the representatives there did say that this will be one of the hardest Rubik's Cubes you will ever have to solve. I sort of believe her, because if you look at the different various patterns on there, it can get pretty confusing trying to solve this. But I might just keep this as a display, but that's really cool. So yeah, so this is just one of the 2 DC press events that we had at Comic-Con 2018, and I really want to thank DC for this, for setting this up, and also BH Impact, which basically, you know, they're the PR firm that sort of works with DC to arrange this. So it was really, really awesome. And I mean, to think about, they had 2 of these. I mean, this is just the first part. So the second one is going to be crazy, and I guarantee that. And so yeah, so this is really cool. So yeah, so yep, that's it. So make sure to come back when we talk about the second of DC's press events. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time, this is Slam of Steel signing out.